Now, what to look for when shopping for a hot dog cart? Give this one as an example. You can see it's got some flaws. The fender there is bent. It has almost no storage. It's got a couple dents and dings. The fender on this side is missing. There's no sump for the sink. It basically just comes out and drains on the ground through that hose. The propane system is insufficient. There's a lot of pieces that are loose. Take a look at the burners that were in here. Original burners are these round ones, which serve to keep the food warm, but it would take an hour to get it up to temperature, even at full bore with these burners. You can see there's missing a handle here. That storage is basically useless. It's a plastic tub sink underneath there that's uninsulated that leaks, so that's not any good. Originally, the burners were controlled with these, and you see those valves are inside the firebox, so once the thing was up to temperature, you couldn't touch the knobs to adjust the temperature. And again, like I said, it would take an hour to get up to temperature. So what we've done on this one is we've replaced the burners with an oval gas grill burner, and the gas valves that came with a gas grill that was parted out to use these. There's actually 3 burners. One of them is not used, and that's future for on this side for another warming tray. Some of the other things you need to take into consideration is how it's going to set up and how you're going to be able to get product out in a timely fashion. Now, the way I've set this up is 2 warming trays, a steam tray, and 2 other small trays that are not warmed. Now, how this works is water and water for the steam, obviously. Dogs are cooked in here and then kept warm in this one, so you're not mixing your raw dogs with your cooked dogs. Additionally, if you wanted to, you could use one of these for dogs, and I was using this one for Italian beef at one time. The steam pan that I have is deep enough that it'll hold about 2 inches of water, and once these are together, you can't really pry them apart to check your water levels in here, so you have to make sure that you're always checking water, always adding water to the steam tray. If you don't do that, what happens is your dogs get burnt, or your buns get burnt, and then you're throwing away products. So you make sure you always have water in there. Another thing to look out for is a countertop space so that you have room to place your condiments, your wax paper for your wraps. This has got a nice post for an umbrella, which comes in handy. One thing that you have to make sure that when you're setting up your pots, you want to make sure that they're going to fit into your space, and they're not going to fall in like that. So when you're buying pots, make sure you buy all the accessories to make it so that they stay in place. Now I'll show you something else on this in just a second. Okay, when you're serving, you want to have a good flow for how you're going to get your product out. I've got a domed lid, which allows me to stack 2 boxes of 10 buns in the steam side. You're going to want to be able to have at least 2 boxes in here to keep up with demand. It takes about 15 minutes to warm the buns up, so you want to make sure you have cooked buns and buns that are cooking at all times. I serve a bun off this side, slide the tray over, put the dog on the bun, and serve it. Very simple. It's not a roll top, where this actually couldn't work as a roll top because it's only one pan size. But it does work fine. Take your buns out. Once you have your bun in your hand, cover them back up, or just keep them covered to keep the steam in there. You want to do that. Now, when you're looking at a cart for the first time, there's a couple things you want to take into consideration. Number 1, can you push it? Does it roll easily? This one actually is light enough that I can pick it up and put it on this trailer by myself, so it's not too bad at all. Second, what you want to do is find out what pans are going to come with it, make sure it's going to suit your needs. If they don't, it's going to cost you extra to get the pans. And third, most importantly, fire the unit up and see how long it takes to get the water up to temperature. You want that steam table to boil in under 10 minutes. You don't want to wait an hour for it to boil. Same thing with bringing your dog water up to temperature. You don't want to wait an hour. You want it up to temp in 10 minutes. This one does that. It'll bring it up to temp in 10 minutes. And then I just simply shut the gas off for the left side of the table. Keep the right side gas on very low, and it keeps the bun steamed, and it also keeps the dog water warm. So you can idle it down and keep things at the right temperature without, we'll still have the capability of bringing it back up to temperature, or recovery time is very low if you have to add water, or if you're getting started for the day, or if you have a heavy demand and you want to keep things really hot. And remember, if you're cooking from frozen dogs, you put them in the water, you're going to quench that water down temperature real quick. So you want to be able to recover that quickly, and this will do this with the different burners. Make sure your burners are going to do what you need it to do. This cart has got some flaws, obviously, but the nice thing about it, just as it sits, passed through health inspection in under 10 minutes. And there are a couple things about it that it's deficient. It doesn't have a sump for the drain, and it doesn't have hot water. But like I said, it went through health inspection in 10 minutes, right out the door. You can get something like this in the neighborhood of $1,000 or less. Obviously, the more the better condition it's in, and the more features it has, is going to cost more. But with a little elbow grease and a little ingenuity, you can take what is considered to be not the most perfect cart and make it function just like you need it to. And the first weekend out using this cart with the bad burners and very little experience, it was simple to make almost $1,000 in 2 days. Good luck with your choice.